Joining us now, we have here the founder of the Pride and Unity nonprofit. Man, we got Damond Collier in the building. Damond, what's going on, man? How you doing? Okay, so what made you decide you want to get into something like that? Let's take it way back when you was a little kid. You know, what did made you do that?
I was influenced more so by community involvement. Like Darren Taylor, you know, he was instrumental in the 1992 ceasefire between the Bloods and the Crips. He was one of my mentors growing up. He's also been in my life, you know what I'm saying, up until his untimely passing. You know, I worked with him in the Unity One organization, and I was able to see that, you know what I'm saying, when we were able to come together, whether it was Bloods, Crips, Hispanics, or whatever, we all had the shared interest of trying to have something better. Nobody wanted to stay at that level of where they were at. Everybody had dreams, everybody had aspirations, but nobody told them that they could actually realize those dreams. Nobody showed them that it was actually attainable. Okay. So it was like this program and this movie, you know, the reason why a lot of people focus more so on the gang element that's happening is because the first movie that we put out through this organization is Baby Gangster the movie, which is streaming on Vimeo on demand, and on our own website that we built. That, you know what I'm saying, we potentially want to grow into like a Amazon or a Netflix, to where we can be the outlet, not only just the outlet, but we can also produce the movies ourselves. So we carry the role from top to bottom in this movie, from production to editing to, you know, I mean, from every aspect. I mean, outside of consultation, you know, from people that were like actual experts and had more, you know what I'm saying, more years and things like that into this movie. We wanted to show everybody that they can actually do exactly what Hollywood does, especially with the means and with the, you know what I'm saying, with all of the things and the tools that's sitting in front of us right now, whether it be, you know what I'm saying, the cameras, the studios, things of that nature.
Okay. And so back then, before you even decided to go into this, how did you decide that you wanted to like change your life? Because my daily slave, I'm a probation officer, so I deal with the kids. So I have that conversation with them. So I need you to tell me, how did you change, and what can I tell them to get them to change?
I mean, I wouldn't hope. I had basically a blessing and a curse. I went to prison, and me going to prison made me realize and look at my life. And I'm hoping that people, me designing what I'm doing is so people wouldn't have to go through that. But once I came home, I realized that I was going through the same patterns, and there were no more outlets. It was like basically I was coming home to the same circumstances that I left, and actually worse, because I was older and more mature with less, you know what I'm saying, with less resources now, because I had this thing on my back, this parole and this gangbanger, this image that, you know what I'm saying, America that put out there of us. So it made it harder for me to get jobs. It made it harder for me to do things. And, you know what I'm saying, I was able to sit up under Taylor, who was my mentor. He told me, like, you know what I'm saying, you were too intelligent. You know what I'm saying, if you just use what you had in here, you can actually realize it. And he introduced me to Pete Carroll, who is the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks.
The Seattle Seahawks, yeah.
Yeah, I was able to sit under him and Darren Taylor for about a good 18 months and, you know, pick their brains. They actually helped me pay for me to become an intervention prevention specialist as well. So where I started to do community activism, and I started to go to probation homes, and I started to coach football. I coached for the Beverly Hills Gators football organization, which I helped establish, and brought, you know, kids from like South Central, Watts, and West LA over into Beverly Hills, and brought kids that was like, you know, they played on teams with millionaire kids and things of that nature. Because I remember when I was a kid, like the kids that I played football and baseball with, I still see them right now, and we still have a good relationship. So I wanted to build them and show them at that time, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't too much differences, that we all had the same dreams, whether it was you grew up in a rich neighborhood or you grew up in an impoverished neighborhood, that if we combine the two, then we can make the world a better place, even if it's our small little world over here, you know?
Right.
So like that's what influenced me, seeing all of those things, going into these group homes, going to talk to these people, and with me walking in there, I started to hear some of the same ideas that I had, and nobody having any outlets. Yet when I was working with the intervention companies, I was running into celebrities and I was running into stars, and they wanted to help, and they didn't know how they can help. Outside of just giving money, you know, because most people just ask for money and they have no commitment. Without that commitment, then they can never really fully get immersed in the change, you know?
Right.
Since he was asking questions, and the questions that he asked me personally was the things that basically sparked this program.
Okay, well, let's talk about that film you guys put together, Baby Gangsters. Let's tell us about that film.
Baby Gangster is a movie really about like the thing that's plaguing a lot of our communities right now. You know, it's like first off, we wanted to give an image of when I wrote the movie. I wanted it to be more so like an image of what actually happens when gang violence arises in Los Angeles. With me being there, and me always watching these movies and being like, oh, we wouldn't have did that. Like, oh no, you know, that's kind of like how we are, but you know, that's not, you know, the truth. I wanted to finally give a depiction of what happens, especially since, you know, the 1993, it's a lot has changed since, you know what I'm saying, the Menace to Societies, the Boys in the Hoods have been put out there. And
Right.
we would talk about the gang intervention work that's going on. People didn't even know what gang interventionist was. People didn't know that it was the inside of the community that was trying to stop the gang violence, as opposed to the police just coming in and policing it. That's not what's stopping the gang violence in there. It's the people that came home from prison and realized that they were making mistakes. It's the people that, you know, within the community that actually grew up in the community that cares about it. Like what else? It was, you know, we came together. It was me, Warren Mapson. He basically put a vision in my head as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm forever indebted to him for that. Him and Renee Valarios. He's actually the DP on our film. They both have like over like 20 years experience in Hollywood. I worked under both of them. I worked under both of them for a few years myself as a PA, then as an art director, and kind of worked my way up the ladder working with them and several other people. And they basically seen that I had a vision, and they told me basically you can actually do what you see these other people do. They did me, and they told me that I can, you know, once you sit down and write it, and we can help you do it. I said that, I wrote it, and we went into trying to go out and try to do a regular cast, and just like, okay, let's do a regular casting call and try to bring everyone in. But it didn't fit into the vision of the Pride and Unity program. So I reached out to all of the people that I knew that was Bloods, Crips, and things of that nature, and I asked them like, hey, how would y'all feel about doing your own film? And being shareholders, actually being owners. You know, I can't pay everybody, but I can pay for the film. I can raise the funding for us to film it, the production, edit, see it all the way through. I'll work it all the way through. I was like, but the only thing I can offer is a percentage of the movie.
And I was cool with that.
They all came in with their commitment. We studied for about 3 months. You know, from studying the script to them being like, nah, I don't know about this. In front of them, you know, by the end of it, it was like they were so in character, they were damn near fighting in the rehearsal thing, like, you know, not over you know, no gang stuff or nothing like that, but more so like, you forgot your fucking line. Like, you spoke up late. Like, they started to see them take it serious, you know.
Well, that's good. That's that's what you want them to take it serious. You want them to get into it like that.
It translates in the film when they watch the film, or if you ever get when people get a chance to see the film, it's like these people only acted once. Like you would never believe it. Like outside of Compton Menace, Mitchie Slick, and Black Jesus, Slim Johnson, people that. Those were the only 3 people that actually acted and had, you know what I'm saying, any type of acting credits in the movie at all. Every in the movie, I mean, from top to bottom, has not really acted, you know, and Juan Maps, and outside of those, so it was 4 actors out of about 40.
Wow.
That actually never did a day in their life, you know, and it was just, I don't know, it was magic to me.
Okay, so with that said, it's done. So you guys did the movie. So what is it about? It's more of a gang intervention type of movie. It's a gang banging movie. What is it about?
Officer, basically, it's a police officer that grew up in the hood. He basically sees one of his friends. He grows up in the hood. He thinking he tough when he's young. He sees one of his friends get killed at a young age and changes his life into being a police officer. Someone saves his life early, he tries to pay it back. Like, you know what, I'm going to get back in the streets and I'm going to try to pay it back. He runs into a guy named Baby Gangster who's basically resembles his story.
Right. Okay.
He takes a liking into what he's going into and why this guy is getting, Baby Gangster, which is the guy of the movie, he's getting so much community involvement and so many people that's telling him, hey, leave the streets alone. All of the community people, come do something different. Come do something different. He gets involved into an altercation that escalates into a gang war.
Okay.
So in the process of him trying to get away and him thinking about getting away, his baby mom, his family members, his friends, everybody telling him to leave this stuff alone, a couple of his friends get shot up.
Wow.
So it's like, I ain't gonna say the whole movie.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we won't give it all out. We're just gonna give them a little taste. Again, tell them your IG and tell them where to find you, so that way they can be a part of the organization if they want to.
Baby Gangsta, the movie, that's BABYGANGSTA, the THA movie, on Instagram. You could also find that on, even if you Google that anywhere, it should lead you to where the movie is.